because we can't use microwaves, remember? I mean, theoretically, you could put the meat in the oven, but that would take like 20 minutes, and I don't think it's necessarily worth that. Okay. I'm going to have to restart my StarCraft. Or actually, no, I won't. So, because I don't have to... I just have to change this one component, not the whole thing. They should have provided, oh. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out what the game we're supposed to play is. This is terribly unclear. Oh boy. Match 1, Game 2. Match 3, Game 2. Match 1, Game 1. Match 3, Game 1. Okay, I figured out what I'm supposed to play. Hopefully we do not get any more lag. I suspect that was actually due to the fact that it was 4 players and...
Large map.
Yeah. This is King Sejong Station, and let's see, what can I tell you about King Sejong Station? Since this is a 2v2, there's not really anything to tell you. It favors drop styles and awkward contains, unlike the map we just played on. But other than that...
Oh no.
What?
Did you overlay that on the civilian?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
But other than that, it's... Oops, wrong one. Relatively straightforward. Anyways, if you'll introduce our players.
Did he change his name?
No, that's just his account name.
Okay. Alright, spawning in the bottom right, the red Terran. Teamless Neeblet. Or Neeb.
It's like Scarlet might play on Imbatos.
Oh, yeah. And spawning in the top left, the blue Terran. Axioms Gaming's Heart.
Oh, darn it. It's slightly off. The overlay is slightly to the right. Let me see if I can fix that. I think I got it. I look about right.
I think it's caught up, yeah. Yeah, it's caught up. It's about right.
Close enough. Anyways. So far, both players are playing standard. And we are experiencing minor lag.
Not again.
I'm gonna try lowering my graphics and seeing if that helps any.
Good thinking.
Seems to be having some minimal effect at least. Okay. There is a point of difference so far in that Hart, by putting his supply depot here, is saying, I want to play a macro game. Neeb, by putting his supply depot here, is saying, I don't necessarily care about a macro game, I more care about what information you know. But then he does this, which defeats the purpose. In that he decides to build his barracks in the back. So, not exactly sure why he even builds his supply depot out here in the first place. You might as well just put it over the gas and lower it there. I guess that's what happens when you're 16, right? So yes, I just implied that in a TVT I can at least open better in the first 2 minutes of a game than a...
I'm also a better writer than Christopher Polly, so...
If you guys don't know, I don't play Terran, so take that all with a grain of salt. Neeb is going to scout. And he should be able to see everything. By which we mean the factory, the barracks, and the orbital. He actually is not going to check the gas, and I think that's just because he wants his SCV to get home before a Reaper pops out to kill it. But Hart is actually, oh no, there he goes. Oh, that's interesting. Hart went for a Marine before his, oh, because he had to use a gas for the factory. Yeah. Anyways, it looks like Hart is going to go for a 1-1-1. He will put this supply depot, the second supply depot at the front. And the reason why he does that is because the second supply depot, putting it in the front is not as much of a loss in mineral time at that stage of the game as it is later. And by putting the supply depot here, he gives himself a choke. So if he puts the supply depot there as his first supply depot, he brings himself down to 10 SCVs or 9 SCVs mining in the early stage of the game. But if he builds it at home, the SCV returns to mining much faster. So it's all about the indirect damage that he's incurring on himself by doing so. Neeb is also going to go for a kind of 1-1-1. It looks like Hart is going to go for Banshee Harass at least, which, I mean, any 1-1-1 that has aggressive potential can kill in the early game or early mid game, if it's not if the opponent does not respond to it properly. But the fact that this is what is Neeb doing? Neeb is going for Hellions. Is Neeb gonna play mech? He is taking gas, which he needs to do at this point in the game if he's going to play mech. Okay then. Neeb's expansion is faster than Axiom Heart, which does imply, it does help to imply the desire to play mech. Okay. In the TVT matchup, mech is really that's the only matchup where